the first new moon of 2025, and it's bringing you a revolutionary new beginning and the power to initiate a transformation and to manifest your dream reality. Actually, this is a beautifully supported new moon. I'm so excited to talk about this one because it has no harsh aspects. It is so beautifully supported, which means that we are so beautifully supported to manifesting our desires. Such a beautiful moon for manifesting. And this new moon can have such a positive impact in your life if you choose to utilize the energy. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can utilize the energy. In chapter 1, we're going to be talking about the new moon, what this new moon in Aquarius means for you. We're going to be talking about the cosmic transits that are happening on the new moon. And then in chapter 2, I'm going to tell you what to do and what not to do, not only on the day of the new moon in Aquarius, which is on January 29th at 9 degrees, but also that entire week, because the new moon's energy is going to be very, very strong, especially because the ruling planet of Aquarius, which is Uranus, is going to be stationing out of retrograde, is going to be stationing direct, literally the day after the new moon. It couldn't come at the most perfect time. And it's also on the day of the Lunar New Year, so double that extra new energy. And then finally, in chapter 3, I'm going to take you through all the steps on how you can figure out exactly what area of your life, like exactly what area of your personal life is going to be affected by this new moon in Aquarius, because this area of your life is the area that you should be initiating something in, that you need to really, really take focus on this specific area of your life. I'm going to take you through all the steps on figuring out what house the new moon is transiting through, and then I'm also going to let you know exactly what this area of your life means and exactly what you should be doing and focusing on for this new moon in Aquarius. So let us get into it, and welcome back to my channel. I am Alexi Gigi, and I'm so grateful that you are here with me today, watching me on YouTube or listening to my podcast. Let us get into it. Grab a journal, light a candle, grab some water, stay hydrated. So this new moon in Aquarius is all about embracing change and new ways of thinking. Aquarius as a sign is all about innovation. It's all about humanitarian pursuits. It's also all about the future. It's about dreaming big. It's about our goals. It's about our manifestations. It's about our community, and it's about friendships. And with this also following on the day of the Lunar New Year, this is the perfect time to take stock of where we are at in our life, to reevaluate our life, to do a lot of deep self-reflection. And Aquarius is going to allow us to do just that, but in an objective way. And the Lunar New Year and the new moon is basically like a reset point for all of us to change something and to initiate a new beginning. And listen, the moon represents our inner world. It represents our innermost selves. So prepare for all of this change and all of this initiation to happen within your inner world first. Because listen, if you want to change your physical reality, if you want something in your life to change, if you want something to manifest, like a new car, like a new job promotion, a boyfriend, whatever it is, it needs to start from within first. And this new moon is really reminding us of that. And Aquarius energy is all about initiating something. So for this new moon in Aquarius and this entire week, we need to be initiating something within us first, and in turn, that is going to appear in our physical reality. And wherever in your own personal birth chart new moon is transiting through, whatever house, because we have 12 houses in astrology, each house represents a specific area of your life. So first house is like identity, 7th house is like relationships, 8th house is like deep down into your psyche, the 11th house dreams, manifestations, friendships, community, 10th house career, all these houses, right, in areas of your life. So depending on the area of your life the new moon is illuminating and transiting through is going to be the area of your life that you really want to focus on initiating something in, starting fresh and creating a new plan in, taking action in, and really focusing on that self-reflection aspect in that area of your life. That's where you're going to want to focus most of your attention into. And I always make new moon and full moon workbooks for you every single new moon and full moon. And I made a new moon in Aquarius workbook for you. It's made for each specific birth chart. So based on the area of your life that is going to be affected, it has absolutely everything you need, all the self-reflection you need, manifestation rituals, and a guided meditation included, shadow work included. It's made specifically for your own birth chart, and it will tell you exactly what you need to do. So if you truly want to utilize this energy, I highly recommend utilizing this workbook, and you can find it in the description bar. It is also available on my website, alexigigi.com, and you can also purchase the meditation separately. Really, it has everything you need to utilize the energy of the new moon, starting from within. to create your dream reality, because it all starts from within. It all starts from doing that work. Now let's get back to the basics for the moment. So if you're new to astrology and you don't really know what new moons signify, new moons are basically like the start of a lunar cycle. So it's when the moon is in the sky, it's like completely dark, right? It's like void of energy, which when we have like a void of energy, when we have like nothing there, there's all that energy to work with, right? There's nothing there. There's all that energy to build upon. So when we have a full moon, it's like illuminating, right? But we have a new moon, we have all that free like area to work with, all that free energy to work with. So new moons are the perfect time to set intentions for new beginnings and for planting seeds. It's a fresh start and a nudge from the universe to either start again or look at something with a whole new approach. Aquarius is a sign of freedom, innovation, liberation. It opens doors, tunes into possibilities, and expands your own consciousness. It's such a beautiful sign to have this new moon in, especially because it really does represent like long-term planning, like our long-term goals and our long-term manifestations. Now let's talk about degree theory for a second, because the new moon is at 9 degrees, and 9 is a very, very special number. It's one of the most important numbers in the universe, 3, 6, 9. If you don't know much about it, I highly recommend doing research on Nikola Tesla. He talks a lot about it, but it is the number of the universe, and in numerology it's also the number of completion. Now we have it at 9 degrees. It's also January 29th, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have had a lot of lunar events happening at 9 degrees and with like 9 involved in it. So this is really, really just like a heavy 9 energy. And because it's like the completion of a cycle and the way that it relates to this new moon Aquarius, it's like initiating something new, right? Like starting completely fresh. But in order to get to that new chapter, in order to get to that next stage, in order to get to that, you know, like brand new site in your manifestation, is by looking at the past and reevaluating it for a second. Only to do the self-reflection and only to release any blocks that are standing in your way of receiving your manifestations. It's about looking within, right? And part of that is actually doing the dirty work. It's doing the self-reflection. It's doing the shadow work. It's doing everything to see like what's holding you back. There's a certain perception of something holding you back. Is there a certain fear holding you back? Is there a certain trauma that you experienced in the past that is still holding you back, even though you're not really consciously aware of it? That's where shadow work comes in. That's where self-reflection work comes in. And this is all in my workbook as well. It has a bunch of self-reflection and shadow work prompts made specifically for you based on your birth chart. So I highly recommend you utilize that. This is really all about utilizing self-reflection and shadow work to pave a new path to new revolutionary paths and new revolutionary areas of consciousness. Now, Aquarius is ruled by 2 planets. So 2 planets because traditionally it's been ruled by Saturn, and more modern times it's ruled by Uranus. Now, I like to look at Uranus a little bit more and emphasize Uranus a lot more than Saturn, but I still like to take the emphasis of Saturn into it as well, because it does feel like a mixture of 2, right? Aquarius is an air sign, so it is like all up in the air. It's like dreaming big and really like emphasizes your own personal freedom and your own individuality. So really right now is the time to think outside the box, to not be afraid of what other people think about you, to be unique in your own way. This new moon really stresses authenticity. And listen, whatever changes might be happening in your life right now, do not fight them, okay? Uranus is the planet of change. It's like the wild card planet. It like when it comes in, it just like disrupts everything, and it can give you surprises. It's also like the planet of surprises. So don't be surprised if there is a certain surprise in your life. Just go along with it. Let it flow in your life. And listen, get out of your comfort zone. Life happens. Opportunities are like presented to you when you get out of your comfort zone and you try something new. And that is what Aquarius is all about. And don't be afraid to jump into something, especially in the area of your life that the new moon is transiting through. Something might be brewing, something might be initiating, and really, really pay attention to like new paths and new opportunities, and also create those opportunities for yourself. Focus on this energy of the new moon transiting that specific area of your life. Aquarius is connected to the 11th house in astrology, which has the same themes, right? It's about your future, your goals, your dreams, also about your friendships and your community and humanitarian pursuits. And listen, 11th house Aquarius, it doesn't want you to think small. It wants you to think big. So when you are manifesting under this new moon, I want you to think so insanely big. I don't want you to just think about controlling like the little aspects that will get you to your manifestation. Like, I don't want you to think about every single little detail. I just want you to think about the big picture. Just think about the big picture. Think about that long-term goal. Do not think about the little steps that you have to take, the little obstacles that you have to take in order to get there. Only focus on that long-term goal. So what you want to do here is really like practice the law of detachment in all this. Release your detachment to how you are going to get there. Release and relinquish the control that you feel like you need to have to see the path in order to get to your manifestation. It's all about relinquishing the need of control, especially because this new moon is in conjunction with Pluto, which we'll talk about in a second. Just detach yourself from how you're going to get there. You do not need to know the how. All you need to know and all you need to feel within you is that you will get there and that you are already there and that you are initiating it now. You are already there, and put all your trust into the universe and practice the law of detachment. Okay, now let's get into the transit. So first, very important that we should talk about. So the ruling planet of Aquarius is Uranus, right? One of the ruling planets. And listen, Uranus has been in retrograde for a while, but it's stationing out of retrograde. So it's stationing direct literally the day after the new moon. So when the new moon is occurring is literally when Uranus is like preparing itself to like stop going backwards and like stationing direct. So this is really, really, really expansive energy for all of us. And this is really like helping us to dream big and to think differently. And because Uranus is stationing direct and it has so much of a reflection on this new moon and how we think and how we feel, like our mind is going to like just feel a lot more clear. And you may be receiving a lot of intuitive hits because obviously like the moon is about your intuition. But not only that, like you could be receiving a lot of new ideas and new ways of thinking. So follow those paths, follow those new ideas, because initiating a new idea on this new moon is the best thing that you can do for your future. Because I promise you, if you like get an intuitive hit this week and it's like just like a random like little project, like, oh, like maybe I should write a book on this. You're going to write a book on that right now. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to follow this intuitive hit right now. Drop what you're doing. I don't care what it is you're doing. Even if you're working, drop it. You're going to get your journal out and you're going to start writing this book. You're going to start on this project. You are going to initiate it. That's what this new moon is all about. Because if you do that, if you actually take that action, this can form into something huge for your long-term success. And new avenues may just open up for you. You may like just realize new potentials and new paths that you can take that you haven't seen before. You may experience like a lot of aha moments, like, oh my God, why wasn't I doing that before? Like, this is exactly what I need to do. It's so clear to me now. And even though Mars is still in retrograde in the sign of Cancer, which can make us feel like we're not really moving all that fast because Mars is a planet of action. So when it's in retrograde, especially in the sign of Cancer, it's like really petty energy, like push and pull of energies. But we may have felt recently like things just aren't like happening as fast as we want it to, and that's totally okay to feel that. Do not like blame yourself for feeling that way or feeling like things aren't moving as fast as you want it to. When Uranus does get out of retrograde, things will be more clear on that aspect, and just give yourself grace and give yourself kindness, and know that whatever you start and whatever you initiate on this new moon, it will turn into a huge success. Now, especially because this next transit that we're having is so positive, is so harmonious, and I know everyone is going to be talking about it, but this new moon is trining Jupiter. Now, this is an aspect, okay? So if you don't know anything about astrology, let me just briefly explain it to you. So a trine is a 120-degree angle between the moon and Jupiter, right? And aspects and trines, it basically just represents like the relationship that is going down between these two planets or a point in a planet. So in this case, the moon and Jupiter. So this trine, a trine is the most positive aspect in astrology. It represents like a really, really friendly relationship between the two. So they are really like sending each other's best energies to each other and working together. Now, Jupiter is the best planet to have a trine to, honestly, because Jupiter is a planet of expansion. So it expands everything it comes to contact with. So it's expanding your intentions. It's expanding these new seeds you're planting. It's expanding these new initiatives that you are setting on this new moon. It's also the planet of your good luck. It's also the planet of abundance. It is such a beautiful planet to come into contact with, especially the new moon and in a trine. So really utilize this energy. This is why this new moon is so transformative. Not only that, because of the Pluto aspect we'll talk about right after this. You know how I said too, with Uranus coming out of retrograde, like you'll have a lot more new ideas. This is also fully supporting that, because the Jupiter is like a mercurial planet. So it's all about like thinking and your thought processes and communication. So you might have just like a very clear thought process, how you communicate with yourself, how you communicate like within your inner world and in your thoughts and in the innermost thoughts that you have like right before you fall asleep at night. Like your intuition is also going to be incredibly heightened, and this can really bring you like a revolutionary new idea, a new innovation. So really pay attention to those new ideas and to those intuitive hits that are coming up right now. Now Jupiter has that tendency to expand everything it touches, right? To like just magnify everything. So if you do have any blocks in your life right now that are like standing in your way, or any limiting beliefs or fears, or just really anything that you're dealing with right now, because honestly, it's life. Like it happens. Like you can't manifest 24/7 happiness, even if you're at the best version of yourself, you are in your dream reality, you are still going to experience moments like that, and that is totally okay. So Jupiter also has a tendency to magnify those aspects, especially in your emotional world, because it's a moon, right? The moon represents your intuition and your emotions, and new moon can be a time of emotional energy. So just be aware of that. And if you are feeling extra emotional during this new moon, you can alchemize that energy. You can alchemize that energy, and you can turn it into power, and you can turn it into an energy of creation by doing that self-reflection work and by doing that shadow work. And everything you need is also in my workbook. So truly utilize that if you guys really want to utilize it. But besides that, like really alchemizing that energy, that sadness, that fear, that limiting beliefs, and removing those blocks by doing shadow work, by engaging in a meditation, and really utilizing that to create and to set an initiative under this new moon. And the next transit we're talking about is a conjunction between Pluto. So the new moon is conjuncting Pluto, and this is insane energy. This is very powerful energy. Pluto is a planet of power. It's a planet of control. It's a planet of transformation. It's a planet of rebirth. And the moon, and Pluto are also conjuncting Mercury, and it will be conjuncting the part of fortune too. So it's conjuncting a lot of like shared energy between the moon and other aspects. Now, a conjunction in astrology, if you do not know what that means, it's basically when two planets or a point of planet, in this case, the moon and Pluto, are literally like right next to each other. So that means that they're like sharing each other's energy. And usually this is very, very harmonious. They're kind of just like holding hands, right? So Pluto and the moon, so the moon is at 9 degrees and Pluto will be at 1 degree, and then Mercury is right in between that at 2 degrees, and then part of fortune is on the other side of the moon at 17 degrees. Now, because Pluto is in the mix, it's all about transformation and power. So it's giving this new moon the power and that transformative aspect to completely revolutionize our lives. So whatever initiations, whatever intentions we set. Now, because the moon and the sun are at 9 degrees, they're both in conjunction with each other, which happens every single new moon. The sun has been in a conjunction with Pluto for a little bit now. So Pluto has been in this like Aquarian energy for a bit, which can like really show us themes of like power and control and like censorship in our reality right now that we may have been experiencing. And this is thanks to Pluto. And this is really going to reveal a lot of important soul evolutionary lessons in all of us, which is why it's so important to do that self-reflection. But Pluto really gives us the power. And also, like when we were talking back to like law of detachment and relinquishing the need to control, this is also a lesson that Pluto is going to be bringing you in that specific area of your life, because Pluto is also transiting the same area that the new moon is. Most likely, make sure you check your transit chart, because it could be 2 different houses, which is going to be a little bit different for you. But make sure that you tune into chapter 3 where I explain everything. And listen, because Aquarius is a very like collective sign, it's all about like our collective community. This is really going to impact the way our society is dealing with a lot of issues right now. Like really bringing to light a revolution of some sort in our collective. And listen, Aquarius is all about expressing your own truth and speaking out your own voice. So make sure that you do that, but you be careful when you do that, because you could really just like say a bunch of things without thinking right now, especially because the next transit is the new moon conjuncting Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So just think before you speak, but also express yourself, if that makes sense. And this isn't like negative whatsoever. This is actually going to help you. And like we kind of talked about earlier, Mercury is a planet of communication, right? So it's giving you that direct access into your inner world. It's like that communicative path between your inner world and your physical reality. It's basically like enhanced communication with our own inner world. That's why I've been stressing so much to do that inner work, to do that self-reflection, to do that shadow work. Because right now we literally have like a direct access point between our inner world and our physical reality if we choose to utilize that, and we can like bridge that gap between our conscious and our subconscious, which is basically bringing our manifestations and our dreams or visualizations into tangible physical reality. My workbook is always available to you, so make sure to utilize that, especially the meditation as well, which is going to be taking you from a state of rewiring your subconscious brain and accessing different brainwave states, which is alpha and theta. And listen, because this new moon, because the moon in general is all about your intuition and the expression of your own inner world, if you focus on manifesting and accessing your subconscious and your inner world and doing that through meditation, that is the fastest way that you can bring anything into your reality. And the meditation that I do have available to you, it comes free with the workbook, but you can also purchase it separately. It takes you through all of this. It takes you to the quantum field. It utilizes quantum physics techniques, NLP programming, and so much more. This is really just facilitating that easier path of communication between our inner world, our subconscious, and our conscious. And you also may have like a lot of intuitive hits like we talked about before, but this is only like strengthening that too, right? Because it's like that direct access to our inner world, to our intuition. So really pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition is going to be incredibly heightened. If you have an intuitive hit, write it down. If you see an angel number, this is what you're going to do. You're not just going to be like, oh, angel number, cute, right? No. You're going to figure out what it means, because angel numbers are a sign from the universe, are a sign from your angels, are a sign from God, whatever you believe in, right? So when you see an angel number, like for example, I could see like 222. I am going to stop right in my tracks, and I'm going to be very mindful and think about exactly what I was thinking in that moment right before I saw 222. So you write it down, write in your journal exactly what you were thinking. You write down exactly what you were looking at, exactly what you were doing, exactly who you were with in the moment that you saw this angel number, and then exactly what comes after. And when you write this all down, like I promise you, at the end of the week, if you revisit these angel numbers that you see, you will be able to start make meaning to them. Instead of just seeing an angel number and being like, oh, like that's so cool, the universe is trying to communicate with me, figure out what the universe is trying to say to you. This is like the best way you can do so. Usually a lot of the times that like my angels will communicate with me is if I'm like thinking about a song, if I'm like singing a song in my head, or if I'm listening to a song in the radio and then I see this angel number. The message really has to do with something in that song. So I will revisit that song and see like, what do I need to hear right now? Like, what do I need to focus on right now? Or if I'm having a specific thought about like something that I want to do, that could be a sign that you should do it. Okay, and different angel numbers have different meanings, so you can really look that up. If I'm going to make a whole video on angel numbers too, I can totally do that. The next cosmic transit we'll be talking about is the moon conjuncting part of fortune. Now, this is another very positive aspect, and not a lot of astrologers really talk about the part of fortune, but I love to talk about it. I think it's really important, and it's a very positive thing. It's not a planet, it's not an asteroid. It basically represents a calculated point. So it's like the calculated point where the sun, the moon, and the ascendant meets, which is like the big three. It's where they meet, and it's basically, if you see it like on a chart, it's like literally an X and a circle. So it's like X marks the spot. It's like where the treasure is basically, and it represents like luck. It's literally like the point of luck. It's the area where you can find like beneficial outcomes, where you can find joy, where you can find success. And the moon is conjuncting with the part of fortune, which is just enhancing that like lucky energy and that abundant energy and that successful energy, and enhancing whatever you do initiate, whatever intention you set, whatever you manifest. you're gonna have a lot of luck with it. So really, truly utilize this energy. Chapter 2, what to do and not to do the entire week of the new moon in Aquarius. Number 1 is do not say no to new opportunities. The new moon always grants us new opportunities and new paths that we can take, especially this new moon in Aquarius with all the cosmic transits that we just talked about happening. And it also may come as a form of surprise, especially with Uranus involved, right? So make sure you say yes, do say yes to opportunities, even if it's just like an invitation from a friend to go to like a new restaurant. Like something could happen at that new restaurant, getting a call about a new job offer, like whatever it is, take the chance. Take the chance and find out. You have a lot of lucky energy right now. Utilize that lucky energy. Then number 2 is do a meditation to rewire your subconscious brain and to connect your inner world, like we talked about, with your physical reality through quantum physics and through accessing the alpha and theta brainwave states. And I did make a guided meditation for you guys to utilize on the new moon in Aquarius, and you can utilize it every single day for the whole week. You can just do it once. You don't have to do it on the day of the new moon. You can do it whatever you want. And it utilizes quantum physics techniques, NLP programming, and it really bridges the gap between your inner reality and your physical reality so you can initiate a change to your physical by doing this meditation. And if you guys want to download that, I will have it linked in the description and it will also be in my bio. Next is do the self-reflection, do the shadow work to really focusing on removing those blocks, removing those limiting beliefs standing in your way of receiving your manifestations. Do that self-reflection. This is all on my workbook too if you guys want to utilize that. Shadow work prompts, self-reflection prompts made specifically for you based on your birth chart. Number 4 is check your transit chart to see exactly what area of your life, what house the new moon is transiting through. And do not worry, in chapter 3, I'm going to take you through the steps on how you can do this. Number 5 is start something new, like start a new project or start journaling in a new journal. Buy something new, buy a candle, buy a new thing of flowers, but just solidifying that new energy in the physical is going to bring that new energy in the spiritual. And especially if you start a new project, if you initiate something new in the area of your life that the moon is transiting through. So for example, if the new moon is transiting your first house, which is like your identity and your appearance, maybe that day you change the way you do your makeup, or you change your hair a little bit, or you change the way you dress, pick out a new outfit. It may open like just some form of a communication aspect between your inner world, or just open up like a new idea or something, but like do something new, initiate something new. If the new moon is transiting your 10th house, do something new in terms of like your career. Next is do a manifestation ritual to solidify your intentions into the physical. If you guys want some recommendations on exactly what rituals you can do, I have a bunch in my new moon in Aquarius workbook that you can choose from, and it also has actual steps based on your own birth chart. Next is do not stick to your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Do something that you've never done before. Get out of the box. You can think outside of the box. You can do something that you're not necessarily comfortable with. Like go out to a restaurant and then go eat by yourself. I did this recently and I loved it. Like just bring your candle to a nice restaurant and then just have a nice dinner to yourself. Sip some wine if you want to, read your Kindle, have a night to yourself, but do something that is like out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's even just like taking a new workout class, like taking a boxing class if you've never taken a boxing class, or if you've never done like solid core, go to a solid core class. Just get out of your comfort zone in some way. Maybe it's even just like trying a new makeup look, right? And try to relate it to the house that the new moon is transiting through as well. Next is do manifest with your friends, okay? Aquarius energy, 11th house energy is friendships and community and social aspects, right? So manifesting with your friends is going to be so ideal, as in this is how you can do so. So you can even get together with your friends, but you can do this on the phone, you can do this over text as well. But basically, you guys are going to help each other manifest. So you're going to tell your friend exactly what your manifestation is. So it could be like a brand new car and a new boyfriend, right? And then your best friend is going to tell you their manifestation. So basically you're going to have a conversation with them, like over the phone is best, in person is best, but you can do this over text too. Have a conversation as if your manifestations are already true. Like you can be texting your friend and be like, hey, I'm going to pick you up at 8 p.m. tonight after I get my new Range Rover washed in the car wash, and then let's go to the mall so you can help me pick out an outfit for my date night for my 2-year anniversary with my boyfriend or something, whatever you want to like make wake up that's like an ideal scenario for you, just tell your friend what you're doing and then just have that conversation, and then just also like incorporate her manifestations into it, and then just like live in the moment and feel that emotion too, because emotion is the number one medium to your subconscious mind. Feel that emotion, live in that moment, visualize it, manifest with your friends. If you get together with your friends too, like actual physically, you guys are gonna have like this energy together, and the more energy that you have, the more your manifestations are going to come true. Next is do not avoid people, and do be social. Aquarius is a very social sign. It's all about friendships and community, right? So don't try to avoid people. Like if you are going out and you are at a store and someone just tries to talk to you, talk to them, have a conversation with them. You never know where that conversation is going to go, and you always should be kind to people, obviously, but just have a conversation with someone and see where it goes. Like try to meet new people, like put yourself out there. If you're someone who doesn't usually like say hi to someone in like your Pilates class, this could be the day that you say hi to them and spark a conversation. Next is do make a mind movie or a vision board. If you have not made one yet, I highly recommend a mind movie. It's like a vision board on steroids. It's basically like a movie, a memory of your future that you're watching every single day. I have a whole video dedicated to exactly what a mind movie is and how you can make it. Also have a template that you guys can download as well to make it easier for you. But I highly recommend you do that if you haven't done it. The new moon is the perfect time, the entire week of that energy is a perfect time to make your mind movie and to make those vision boards. Next is do focus on intellectual stimulation. So educating yourself in a way, like learning something new. Aquarius is all about that educational aspect, right? Like stimulating your mind in some sort of way, especially with conjunction with Mercury and all that good stuff. So do something that day, whether this could be like maybe signing up for a new course, or this could be like reading a new book, reading 10 pages in a book where you can learn something new, where you can learn something about a topic that you've been interested in or you're passionate about. This could even be like taking a cooking class or something. Just really like expanding your mind in some way. Next is obviously, if you've been a long-term follower of mine, you know I'm about to say this. Do listen to high vibrational frequencies and do not listen to low vibrational music. Do not listen to sad songs. Do not listen to sad Lana Del Rey. Do not listen to sad Taylor Swift. Not the day for it. Do not do it. Your sad music can manifest a new reality. It makes you feel a certain way. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is in your current reality, what was in the past, and what is in the future. So if you're listening to a breakup song and it reminds you of your ex in 2019, your subconscious mind is going to still think that you were there. Therefore, you are not really manifesting what you want to manifest. You're kind of manifesting the opposite. So no sad songs. It's just for a day. Don't do it. I wouldn't do it ever, really, even though I am, honestly, even though I stress this so much, high vibrational music, I do love my occasional sad Lana Del Rey and Taylor Swift and just like singing my heart out. If you do listen to that type of music, which you shouldn't be on the day of the new moon, but obviously like we're human, right? It's music. Listen to it, but set the intention in your mind that this is not my reality. Not my reality. It is just a song. Set that clear intention. But listen, you will really, really see the difference. Like I saw such a difference in my mindset and like in my reality and the opportunities that I was seeing when I started switching from low vibrational music to high vibrational music, from sad songs to vibrational music stated at like 432 hertz or 528 hertz. I have a whole Spotify playlist too if you guys want to utilize that. But high vibrational music only, 432 hertz and 528 hertz are my favorite for manifestation. No low vibrational music. Next is do anything involving the community. So like volunteering somewhere or donating somewhere. And last but not least is do take initiative, okay? Show the universe that you are serious. Show yourself that you are serious about receiving your dream life, about receiving your dream reality. And when I say take initiative, you're going to start now. Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, you're going to start now. You're not going to like manifest that this is going to happen in your future. You're already living in it. This is already your reality. You are already the person that you want to become. That starts with identity work. So do identity work too. Become the version of yourself that has all your manifestations now. Start showing up like her, walk like her, talk like her, do your makeup like her, do your hair like her, do everything like her. Form the habits that your higher self, who has all your manifestations, has now. So do something on the day of the new moon. I say this all the time, but it's so effective because you are taking action, you are taking initiative, and that is going to translate into you becoming this person. If you are wanting to be a person that works out every single day and goes to Pilates every single day and you don't do that right now, you're not that person, right? But if you start like actually forcing yourself to go to Pilates every day in the mindset of your higher self, you will become the person that goes to Pilates every day. It's really, really that simple. And the cheat codes to this is identity work and self-concept is pretending you are a movie character and playing your highest self, playing your alter ego, and going through your day as your higher self. Like, for example, if I'm going through my day, I'll even say affirmations throughout my day. Like, for example, if my alter ego name is Alexi Gigi 3.0, I will just be randomly saying, like looking in the mirror and saying, I am Alexi Gigi 3.0 and I attract abundance, I attract luck, I attract opportunities. This is my reality. I am Alexi Gigi 3.0. I'll just say like little affirmations like that to truly connect to my higher self and to just remind myself that I need to be looking at the world, I need to be seeing the world, I need to be thinking, I need to be perceiving the world through the lens of my higher self, because that is how you become your higher self. That is how you get your manifestation. And also something important to think about too is when you're visualizing and when you're putting yourself in that emotional elevated state of your higher self and like becoming your higher self, right? And you want to obviously feel the emotions of your manifestations as if they are already here in your reality. So like pretending that you already have it. But there's a difference between feeling an emotion of excitement for example, if you're trying to manifest a new car, there's a difference between feeling that emotion of excitement of like, oh my God, I'm excited. Like I want my new car. Like it's going to be new to me, that new emotion of excitement, or that emotion that you already have your new car, right? Like, you already own it. You don't feel as excited because you've already had it. It's like already in your reality. It's already normal to you. So replicating that feeling of normalcy with your manifestations, that is going to get your manifestations to appear in your reality. Because if you constantly like try to visualize and manifest your emotions as if they're already here, but like you want it so bad, like constantly having that feeling of want and need and admiration and putting your manifestations on a pedestal, there's this complete disconnect between you and your manifestations. But when you start to view your manifestations, when you start to view that new car as completely normal, that is when it links up. That is when that visualization and that like quantum field of your manifestations, that potential reality links up to your physical reality. And that's when it shows up in your physical reality. And also like to practice this too through deep meditation. Deep alpha and theta meditation is going to activate this completely in your physical reality. And it's best to do these meditations on the new moon when the energy of that new beginnings and that creation energy is the strongest. Now, chapter 3, how you can figure out exactly what area of your life is going to be affected by this new moon. So first, I want you to get out your laptop or even get out your phone, and you are going to go onto Google and you are going to search up AstroSeek Transit Chart Calculator. This is the one that you're going to click on, and it's going to bring you to a page just like this. You're going to scroll down a little bit, and then you are going to type in your information. So your name, your date of birth, the time you were born at is extremely important, because if you do not enter your birth time, you will not see the houses in your transit chart. So you enter the time you were born at, you enter where you were born, and then you are going to enter the day of the new moon. So January 29th and the time that the new moon peaks at in your time zone. I'm going to include that in the description of this video or this podcast episode. And then you're going to enter the city you are currently at, and then you're going to click calculate transits. And then it's going to show you a transit chart just like this. This is just an example. And now you are going to look for the moon symbol. So the moon symbol looks exactly like this. Now you're going to trace that moon back to your house in your birth chart to see exactly what house it is transiting through. So for example, in this transit chart, the moon is transiting the first house. So this new moon will be illuminating your first house, which is your house of identity. And this is exactly how you're going to pull up a transit chart. Every single like lunar event, every single new moon, every single full moon, every single like Mercury retrograde to see how it's going to affect you or whatnot. This is the exact way you can do so. Now, something important to point out is you always want to look for the moon, that orange moon on the outer circle, because those are the transiting planets, and what's on the inside is your birth chart, right? So basically what a transit chart chart does, it shows you the relationship between the transiting planets, the planets that are in the sky at that exact time, so January 29th, the relationship between those planets and the planets in your birth chart. So when you look for the moon, you see exactly how it's going to be illuminating your birth chart. So now let's go through each one of the houses briefly. So if the new moon is transiting your first house, this is the house of identity, this is the house of self, this is the house of your body, of your appearance. This is your time for your ultimate rebirth. This is the time to redefine who you are and who you identify as. This is your time to look at, like, who the heck am I? Who do I want to be? And how do I get there? This is your time to do your identity work. So important whenever any new moon or anything is transiting your first house. Identity work, self-concept work is going to get you there. You could be having an insane glow up right now, a physical glow up, really like initiating like a physical change in the way that you do your hair and the way that you do your makeup, even if it's like so tiny, or just initiating a change in like who you are as a person, having a complete rebirth. Now the new moon transiting the second house. So the second house is the house of finances, of your material possessions, of your values, as well as your self-worth. So initiating something in the realm of abundance and finance right now. Something new could be coming about in the way that you make money and your material success, and really reflecting on your own self-worth, doing shadow work based on your self-worth. This is the perfect time to ask yourself if you are aligning your resources with your dream. This is a perfect time to set financial goals. And this is also a key focus on building long-term financial stability. Now the new moon transiting the third house. So the third house is the house of communication, of your mind, of your thinking, of your siblings, of your neighbors, and of your community. And it's really the house of like that Mercury energy, which is what we see with that conjunction with Mercury right now. So this is the time to reevaluate how you think, how you communicate, and also the time to expand your mental capacity and to really focus on intellectual stimulation, and also focus on how you perceive the world and changing the way that you perceive the world, perceiving the world through the lens of your higher self. And really also too with the third house, it's like about like written communication as much as it is about like speaking. So really doing that self-reflection work down onto paper, down into a journal, doing shadow work is going to be so essential for you. And everything that you need is in the new moon in Aquarius workbook. I have journaling prompts made specifically for the third house. Now the new moon transiting your fourth house. So the fourth house is the house of family. The first house is the house of your emotional foundations, of your divine feminine energy and your inner world, right? So this could be like a new era for your family. This could be a new era for your foundational success from your emotional world, for your divine feminine energy. I really, really suggest you focusing on your divine feminine energy and balancing out your dark feminine with your soft feminine. I have a whole YouTube video explaining everything about divine feminine energy, but focusing on your Lilith placement, your Venus placement, as well as your own moon placement, and balancing out your feminine with your masculine energy. Reflect on how your living situation, your family dynamics, and your emotional world aligns with your higher self. And really this new moon is about establishing a foundation for your dreams. And if you want to dive deeper, I have specific journaling prompts and shadow work made for the fourth house in my new moon in Aquarius workbook. New moon transiting the fifth house. The fifth house is the house of creativity, of passion, of joy, of love, and romance. This is your time to think outside of the box, to do something fun, like actually do something fun, do something that brings you joy. The fifth house is also the house of your inner child. So connecting to your inner child and doing something on the day of the new moon that will connect you to your inner child. So doing something that your inner child, that you as a child loved to do, and then do that. So for me, it was like climbing trees. So go outside and take a walk in the woods, or even climb some trees. If you love to do arts and crafts as a kid, do arts and crafts. This is also your time to take risks and be very, very creative and initiate something in the realm of creativity and love and romance. And if you want to dive deeper, I have a bunch of self-reflection prompts and shadow work for you to do, specific actionable steps in my new moon in Aquarius workbook, linked in the description. Now the new moon transiting your sixth house. So the sixth house is the house of your daily routines, your daily habits, your health and fitness, your workout routine, and also your work-life balance and your work habits as well. So right now is all about revamping your morning routine, your night routine, revamping your daily habits. So really taking focus on what you are doing every single day, what your habits are like. Are you waking up at the time that your higher self would wake up at? And really like taking initiative and making a change, like an actual tangible change, starting on the day of the new moon or starting right now, exactly when you're watching this video, and doing that every single day. Mel Robbins, like she's been so like everywhere recently about her morning routine, about like the 5 4 3 2 1 rule. I highly suggest you try that out. It's basically when you wake up, you're not going to hit snooze, and what you're going to do is you're going to count down from 5 4 3 2 1, and you're immediately going to get up. And that's going to help you like start your day. And no phone for at least 30 minutes when you wake up. And when you go to the mirror, you're going to high five yourself in the mirror. I like to say affirmations in the mirror too, and I like to tell myself how much I love myself. I like to repeat my affirmations, my manifestations into the mirror, do mirror work. I like to do yoga in the morning, or I will go to my Pilates class, and I also like to journal and gratitude journal. So really just like curate a specific morning routine and night routine for yourself. Initiate something new in your daily habits or even work life. Now the 7th house, new moon transiting the 7th house, is the house of partnerships, of relationships, of marriage, of union, of contracts, as well as your enemies and business contracts. Starting something new in maybe a new relationship, initiating something new in your marriage, or even like initiating a new business relationship. Really do a lot of self-reflection in this area of your life, and everything you need, all the self-reflection prompts and shadow work prompts are available in my new moon Aquarius workbook linked in the description. Also, it's like an amazing time to go out on a first date if you're single, or to do something like initiate something new and exciting that you haven't done with your significant other if you are in a relationship. Like go out on a date that you've never done before, like maybe go rock climbing, or I don't know, do something fun that you've never done before, like jump out of a plane, go skydiving, or just initiate something fun between the two of you. This could even be like just having a little date night, something that you haven't done in a while, maybe like cooking together and watching a fun little show and then baking cookies together or something. Whatever you do, just initiate something. New moon transiting the 8th house. This is all about deep emotional work. This is your time to do your shadow work. This is your time to get rid of any mental blocks, of any limiting beliefs, any fears, any traumas standing in your way of reaching your higher self. The 8th house is the house of transformation. It's a very Plutonian house. It's a house that is very, very heavy. It's the house of like death and rebirth, but I don't want you to think about like death like that. I want you to think about death as in like your old self is dying in order to make room for the new one, or an old thought is dying in order to make room for a new thinking pattern, a new perception on life. So really initiate that aspect, initiate that shadow work during this new moon. All the shadow work you need is available for you in the New Moon Aquarius workbook linked in the description. New moon transiting your 9th house. I love this one, especially because it's 9 degrees, so it's even more powerful for you, honestly. But this is the house of spirituality, of wisdom, of travel, of higher learning, of astrology. So really, really focus on spiritual pursuits during the new moon and during this week. So really focus in on meditation and also doing your shadow work. And also, if you've been wanting to travel, this could be a time to travel. This could be time to plan a new vacation for the summer, to plan something new, maybe plan something for Valentine's Day. Whatever it is, this is your time to take initiative in that area. And this is your time too to like go on an adventure. The 9th house is all about adventure and all about like seeking higher truths as well. So like reading something new, and also just like getting yourself out of your comfort zone. So like I said before, like take yourself out on a solo date to a restaurant, or do something adventurous that you have never done before. Initiate that new, fresh, adventurous energy. New moon transiting your 10th house. The 10th house is the house of your career, of your public image, of your reputation, as well as your legacy. Now, new things are brewing in terms of your career and your professional life. Take initiative in your career. Take initiative in your professional life. If there's a project that you've been thinking about starting, or you have an intuitive hit in a project for your career, now is your time to follow that intuitive hit, to follow that idea and just start it. Just do it. This is all about like redefining your own success and also redefining your public image. And really, really get down deep into the self-reflection of anything, any blocks, any traumas, any limiting beliefs that are in the area of your career that are standing in your way of you receiving your manifestations. And if you want to dive deeper, I have a bunch of shadow work and self-reflection prompts for the 10th house in the new moon in Aquarius workbook in the description. The new moon transiting your 11th house. Now, this is a very, very lucky time for you. Aquarius is the 11th house connected to the 11th house, 11th house connected to Aquarius. So the 11th house represents your friendships, your community, your humanitarian pursuits, your manifestations, your goals, your long-term goals, your future, right? This is your time to manifest with your friends. Like I said in chapter 2, what to do, not to do, manifest with your friends. Utilize the energy with your friends to manifest together. Also, it's a great time to just initiate anything that you want, any manifestation, any long-term goal. And also be social, like hang out with some friends and like really look for opportunities within your community. Donate, go volunteer, like do something with like the energy of other people, collaborate with others. The new moon transiting the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of spiritual awakening. It's one of the dark houses in astrology. It's the house of like your inner world, of your deep in your psyche, of your secrets, of your undoings, of your subconscious patterns. This could be a time of great spiritual awakening for you. A time where you can connect your subconscious mind to your conscious so easily. So really what I recommend you do is meditate, meditate, meditate. I have a guided meditation available for you. I'll link it in the description as well. If you want to utilize that, you don't have to, but any meditation is going to benefit you so much during this time. This is a period for spiritual growth for you, for deep healing. So I would really, really start to look at initiating something in that area of your life, in your spiritual realm, because that could kick off so many other things in your life if you focus on your inner world and you focus on your spirituality and like what you believe in. And also like reprogramming your subconscious mind is very, very important, and doing your shadow work. And that is it. Happy new moon in Aquarius. I know that every single one of you watching right now, you're gonna get every single one of your manifestations. Everything that you initiate right now is going to lead you into great success in the long term. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Do not forget to support me. If you like this video and you like my content, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching me on here, or if you're listening to me on my podcast, make sure that you follow my podcast and you leave a review. And do not forget the new moon in Aquarius workbook and the new moon in Aquarius guided manifestation meditation experience is available right now for instant download, and you can find that in the description or in my bio. I love you guys so much, and if you made it to the end of this video, make sure you comment a 222 in the comments so I know that you're a real one and you made it through the entire video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.